So every blue moon, a father actually wins in family court. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. So in this particular video right here, by the way, I've been gone for a long time. We will talk about that in another video. In any case, you see this article, you see the title here from the New York Post. Dad wins full custody of son, 4 years old, I assume, after child's mother allegedly tries to raise him as non-binary. Yes, indeed. Again, every once in a while, a father wins. Now, I remember ways back, I believe Coach Greg Adams and other content creators spoke about this, but a year or two ago, maybe, there was a father out there, I believe he was maybe in Texas or I don't know what state it was. But essentially, I think the mom and the dad probably went through a divorce, I assume. And the dad was trying to get custody of the son, or the father had custody and the mom got it back because the son wanted to grow up as a different gender. Now, the father believed that the mother was somehow orchestrating this as a way to get back at the father. He had no way to prove this specifically, but there were certain things that would happen that made him believe this. I believe he was right personally, but in any case, he lost custody of his child, and well, the rest is history. But let's read this article and see what happened and what led to this father gaining custody, full custody, I might add, of his son. Let's read. A California father said he's been granted full custody of his 4-year-old son following a protracted legal battle with the boy's mother, who allegedly forced the child to wear dresses and glitter because she wanted to raise him as non-binary. Harrison Tinsley told the Daily Signal podcast that he prevailed in the years-long court battle to win full custody of Sawyer, which you can see here in the picture, which the dad likened to watching a miracle. Now, in my opinion, this is a miracle because usually in cases of this nature and with the current society the way it is, this child would be able to grow. This 4-year-old child would be able to grow up however they would choose. I'm not going to say which gender or anything like that, but essentially, this 4-year-old child would be able, because of how society is, they can't make decisions for themselves on some things, but they can make decisions on other things. Specifically, something like this. This 4-year-old child will be able to make a decision on how they want to grow up and which way, right? They want to grow to be this or that. And because that society says, well, okay, cool. Yeah, that's how you want to be. Go right ahead. Now, they can't drink at 4 years old. They can't smoke at 4 years old, right? Probably can't have a relationship at 4 years old, but other people are trying to change that too. But they can decide, again, how they want to live, if you will, okay? So that's another conversation. I know he's a boy. He wants to be a boy. He admittedly expresses that, Tinsley told host Virginia Allen. If you say anything to the contrary, he gets very upset. Tinsley alleged that Sawyer's mother, who he said identifies as a lesbian and non-binary herself, tried to push her gender ideology onto the child from the time he was a baby. Now, I don't know if this man was married to this person, okay, or maybe they had some kind of relationship in the past and a child came from their union. But as you can see here, like he said, the mother identifies in a specific way. And because of that, you know how society is, like I said today, she projected that onto this young child here, this 4-year-old Sawyer. Okay? So, it's an evil world.
It's an evil world we live in. But hey, I'm gonna keep living.
This concluded a cruel campaign of gaslighting, like referring to Sawyer with they, them pronouns over his protestations and forcing him to wear girls' diapers, dresses, and makeup, the dad claimed. Now, by the way, YouTube, before you get me or for anybody out there that is going to have some type of problem with this video, I'm reading this from the New York Post. This is an article that is on the internet. I pulled this from, I believe, X, if I'm not mistaken, when I remember. Okay, so I'm not making these words up, just so you know, okay? On a GiveSendGo page raising funds for his legal fight, Tinsley told of his initial joy at learning his then girlfriend was pregnant in 2009. Again, then girlfriend. Now, I assume 2009 is 2004. That was 2019. It's 2024 now. So I assume at that time in 2019, she identified differently than she does now. Somewhere they broke up, and again, the rest is history. Quote, unfortunately, that excitement turned to pain when his mother, who suffers from a serious underlying mental health problems, abruptly ended our relationship and prevented me from seeing Sawyer, he wrote. Okay, so now we have mental health.
Enemy spotted.
The excitement turned to pain. This mother suffering underlying mental health problems abruptly ended their relationship. And from then on, uses the young child Sawyer as a weapon against him. For some reason, mental health, I guess we're going to blame mental health. Okay, got it. So she has mental health problems. During that time, they have a child together. She ends the relationship and puts this man in an intense legal, well, I don't think she put him in an intense battle. He put himself in a battle, but for good reasons. He wanted to protect his son from being caught up not only in the system, okay, of the government, not only being raised by a single mother with underlying mental health problems, but also possibly being maybe coerced to take a different lifestyle than he wanted, okay? After fighting an uphill battle in California's progressive court system for a year,
Enemy spotted.
he was finally able to meet his son for the first time when Sawyer was 15 months old. But Sawyer's mother's gender obsession only grew, and the boy remained subject to all manner of manipulative tactics, the dad alleged. Again, allegedly, right? So we got to see the baby at 15 months, okay? That's over a year. Finally gets to meet his child. But because the mother is hell-bent on living her lifestyle a particular way, she has now projected onto the child. And because now she has chosen to live her lifestyle that way, she has no more use for Mr. Sawyer, which is a man. Now she's using the child to get back at him and to push Sawyer away, Mr. Sawyer away from this child. And in doing so, he's not going away. He's, you know what? He didn't say, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna make another one. No, he's like, I want my child and I want him to be the way he wants to be. And to do that, I gotta get him back full custody. And like I said, well, he won. We gotta give him congratulations again. Yes, indeed. Let's continue to read. This is where it gets pretty intense. Quote, she threw Sawyer a girly themed party for his second birthday where she made him wear a dress donned with a sheriff's badge, Tinsley told the outlet. In another incident, the mother took the child to Disneyland but refused to let him go on any rides unless he wore the princess shoes she had bought for him, the dad alleged. After learning Sawyer's mother had been arrested for felony child endangerment. Oh, wow. Felony child endangerment, huh? Wow. Tinsley filed for full custody in San Francisco Superior Court last year, claiming that she had, quote, slandered and defamed him for years. The details of that arrest and incident are unclear. The dad said he presented the court with mountains of evidence, including 8 hours of police body cam footage and over 800 pages of supporting documents, but the court sided with Sawyer's mother. Well, no surprise there.
Ain't no way.
No surprise there. The court sided with the mother. Well, not only is it California, but it's family court. So we know how that usually ends up. After all the supporting documents, evidence, videos to support his argument, rightfully so, they still sided with her. Even though she's throwing, and in the meantime, she's throwing, these themed birthday parties and forcing this child to wear certain things or else they can't do fun stuff. It's a big wad of BS. Tinsley appealed the decision last December and claims that Child Protective Services in San Francisco became involved following an alleged incident, quote unquote, about which he declined to further elaborate. Well, that's his business. CPS investigated and recommended Tinsley be granted full custody of the boy and that the mother be subject to regular drug and alcohol testing, he claimed. Tinsley acknowledged that the investigators more than likely had different politics than me, probably so, but said he was grateful for them for putting politics aside and doing what they felt was best for the child. Now, I assume what he meant by politics, quote unquote, meaning that they had a different belief system of what they felt the child should be doing versus what the right thing is, okay? And only in this, what they're saying right here is only, he had evidence. He had videos, pages of evidence, reports, everything. Not until the most extreme case of endangerment or neglect comes in that now they say, okay, well, maybe you should get the child. Drug and alcohol. Something happened, which you didn't want to elaborate on. Something happened to where the child more likely was put in danger because she was probably under influence or something had to do with drugs, alcohol by the statement here, which is, again, the extreme case of endangerment. And now the recommendation is that he get custody of the child. Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
Quote, his mom tried to paint me as some right-wing hillbilly from Mississippi or something, even though I had nothing to do with the investigation, he told the outlet. And that shouldn't matter anyway, of course. But in reality, I'm just some California dude with long hair and skinny jeans. So that's ridiculous to make that up about me. Tinsley calls Sawyer his best friend and the most amazing and greatest blessing of his life. And now that he's back with his dad, he gets to focus on just being a regular kid. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. He gets to focus on being a regular kid with no one trying to force him into an ideological box. Kids don't care about this or that or all of these fake weird concepts. They just care about having fun and spending time with their parents. Yes, indeed, especially at 4 years old. The reports did not identify Tinsley's ex. Attempts to reach a lawyer listed as representing her in court proceedings were not immediately successful Wednesday. Now, of course, the identity of the man, which has been painted as the aggressor, has been painted as the weirdo, has been painted as the man causing trouble, his identity is revealed. But the woman that was doing all this crap to this child, her identity gets to remain anonymous. Like most times, even though they're doing something heinous, they get to have their anonymity. They get to not, and in keeping their anonymity, they don't get the shame. You understand what I'm saying? They get to keep their dignity and their pride because their identity will not be revealed. Meanwhile, he has to get dragged through the mud and the court system for just trying to, like he said, trying to get it so where his kid can just focus on being a kid and having fun. And it would have been nice that he could have both his parents, but in this case, I'm sure he got the better of the two. So you see what's going on here. Again, he won only because the mother probably did something extreme, which is how it usually happens. If she hadn't did anything that had to do with any type of narcotics or alcohol, she would probably still have him to this day. So I just am grateful that he got his child back. This doesn't always happen, but it happened in this case, and I'm happy for him. I hope that they have a great life together. All right. So with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of the Working Man Podcast. Again, I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about this article, this man that won custody of his child back, and the circumstances of the case. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments section, all right? And before you leave, of course, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and as always, reality checks are free. See you next time.